Game week 1 is done and dusted, but we learned something during the first game week, even though it's a small sample size. I've had a horrendous game week 1, but I'll quickly take a look at my game week 1 score, the team selection and the captain selection for game week 2. I'll also take a look at which players we should invest in and which players we absolutely should avoid ahead of game week 2. So let's have a look. First off, before making any transfers, I would like to show you this list with players I think we should avoid ahead of game week 2. I know that some of these players did really well in game week 1, but there are some reasons why we should avoid them. First on the list, Muniz. He did well in game week 1, scored a goal and got 7 points for Fulham, but he did not start that game. It looks like Raul Jimenez is the first choice, number 9 for Fulham at the moment, so I think that Muniz is an avoid. Calafiori is another player that did really well in game week 1, got 13 points, but I think that he will see some rotation really soon. Lewis Kelly, he is there as well, and there will be competition on both sides of the Arsenal defense. I think that the only safe investment if you want an Arsenal defender at the moment is probably Saliba and Gabriel. Next on the list is Richarlison, 6.5. 13 points for him as well. Of course, a solid score and only priced at 6.5. So it will be really tempting for some FPL managers to just transfer in Richarlison. We have Watkins, Bowen, all of those players blanked, so downgrading to Richarlison will be tempting. However, I think that Richarlison, he will see rotation really soon. Solanke, he is fit to start really soon. He was on the bench for your last friendly, on the bench in game week 1 as well, got some minutes, so I think that Richarlison is actually not first choice up front for Spurs. The next player on the list is a 4.5 defender from Southampton, Ballard, 17 points in game week 1, what a haul, but I will be surprised if Southampton can keep this up. Played a decent game, of course, against West Ham, but West Ham, they did not look good. I don't expect Ballard to deliver attacking returns and clean sheets going forward. So if his price goes up, I think this will quickly go down again. So if you need a 4.5 defender, I would look somewhere else. I would much rather just save my transfer if you have a blanking 4.5 defender like De Kuiper, Guehi. I would rather just keep them instead of investing in Ballard at the moment. Next player is Bissau. Goalkeeper, got a clean sheet, 4.5, looks tempting, but he will lose his spot once Martinez is done with his suspension. So I don't expect Bissau to play for Aston Villa in game week 2. Livramento, 9 points, defender from Newcastle. I've talked about Livramento earlier as well. I think that he will rotate with Lewis Hall. He had a really good season but got injured. He has got some minutes during preseason, so I think that Lewis Hall will be back soon and there will be rotation on the left back for Newcastle. The last player on this list is Achampong, 4.0 million defender for Chelsea. Thing is that, of course, this is really good value, but he is not nailed on to play. At least I would like to see him start more games for Chelsea before investing in Achampong. Of course, 9 points for a starting 4.0 defender from Chelsea. I think this is a trap, but of course tempting, but in my opinion we should stay away. These players are, in my opinion, good options ahead of game week 2. If you need a differential, Sar 6.5, only selected by 5% of the managers. Semenyo selected by 5.5. This has gone up a bit, but he did really well against Liverpool, scored 2 goals in game week 1 and a really good fixture for Bournemouth in game week 2. If you need a defender, I really like Shara at the moment. Of course, I would delay this transfer until game week 3. In game week 2, they have a tough game against Liverpool, but they play against Leeds in game week 3 and at home against Wolves in game week 4. So this is good investments at the moment. Other solid options, Ekitike did well for Liverpool and looks to be starting number 9. Saka, really good fixture in game week 2. Hopefully he can deliver against Leeds. And Ait Nouri looked really good. Picked up defensive contribution points and bonus points, and Man City, they kept a clean sheet. Play against Tottenham in game week 2. Then they have Brighton and at home against Man United in game week 4. So Okay fixtures for Man City, and Ait Nouri, he looked really good. I would expect some rotation when it comes to Ait Nouri, but he is probably worth it at the moment. If you want more details about those players, go have a look at my early thoughts video released on Sunday. While speaking about Sunday, this was my team ahead of the Sunday games. I had 6 blanks in my team, only Van de Ven with a clean sheet delivered some points. I was really looking forward to the games. I had Mateta, Cole Palmer, Saka, Sells in goal, and was really expecting some returns from at least one of them. However, this was the result: 28 points, my worst ever FPL season start. Blanks from everyone except Van de Ven. Sells in goal, first and fallback. He actually picked up defensive contribution points, but Liverpool, they conceded 2 goals against Bournemouth, so he only got 3 points. Diouf 1 point, Saka blank, Marmoush, he was actually not a starter for Man City. I'm really hoping that he can start in game week 2. Cole Palmer blank, Wirtz as well. Up front, my captain Jared Bowen, only 2 points from him, and the captaincy made it 4. Blank from Watkins and only 1 point from Mateta. So a really disappointing game week. I was actually planning on using my bench boost in game week 2, but Konsa, he picked up a red card. Arias, he did not start, so I will delay my bench boost. This was not the game week I expected, and a lot of things went against the plan, but hopefully my players can deliver in game week 2. Captain options, Cole Palmer is definitely one to consider. West Ham, they did not impress us against Southampton, so Chelsea can take advantage of their bad form. Of course, this is a really small sample size, only 1 game played, so I'm not sure how much we can put into those stats, but let's have a look. So no clean sheet for West Ham in game week 1. They conceded 3 goals, 2 big chances conceded, 5 shots on target. And what's really interesting is that they actually only had an expected goals conceded of 0.75, so I think they were a bit unlucky, but as mentioned, I watched that game and West Ham, they did not impress me. So Cole Palmer, if you have him in your team, he might actually be a really good captain option in game week 2. Another captain contender for me is Ollie Watkins. Playing against Brentford, they lost 3-1 to Nottingham Forest, so no clean sheet for Brentford. 3 goals conceded. They have 4 big chances against them, 5 shots on target. They have an expected goal of 1.83, so their stats are worse compared to West Ham's. I think that they had a better opponent, so I think at the moment, as mentioned, that only 1 game week of data is not enough to do those deep analysis, but usually I do this with a 4 to 6 game week perspective, so this will be more useful going forward. So Palmer, decent option, Watkins, good option, but I'm leaning towards another player for my game week 2 captaincy. Bukayo Saka, captain at home against Leeds in game week 2. This is actually one of the reasons why I included Saka in my team. I like this fixture on paper. I know that Leeds, actually, they are one of the teams with the best defensive stats, but this is, as mentioned, only from 1 game week. I watched the game Everton-Leeds. Everton, they looked really poor going forward. I think this looked like a draw 0-0 game, but Leeds, they got a penalty later on and won 1-0 in that game. Kind of a boring game, but as mentioned, I think and hope that Arsenal can do well against them in game week 2. So Bukayo Saka, he will be my captain. Let me know in the comments down below who will be your captain for game week 2.